About 23,500 Illinoisans died from the Spanish flu, and as of today, we have lost more than 20,000 Illinoisans to COVID-19. The man who preceded me in this job by a century, Governor Loudon, issued a proclamation in October 1918 telling residents, "It is advisable to prevent all unnecessary social gatherings for the present." The Illinois Director of Public Health at the time, Dr. St. Clair Drake, warned citizens that every community in Illinois will be affected by influenza before the epidemic subsides. Everything old always seems to become new again. And despite all we've learned and discovered about medicine and science in 100 years, fighting a raging pandemic successfully continues to rely on the selflessness and sacrifice of our citizens. Just as our predecessors did 100 years ago, we've had to shutter businesses, cancel public gatherings, close schools and theaters and restaurants, and ask our citizens to wear masks and limit human contact. All of this was done in the pursuit of one goal, and one goal only: saving as many lives as possible. And we have done that. Because of all of you and what you've been willing to sacrifice, Illinois never ran out of hospital beds or ventilators or doctors to care for patients, even when our peer states did. Despite being one of the largest states in the country, we have one of the lowest transmission rates of COVID-19. Ours is among the most accessible testing infrastructures in the nation, even deploying mobile sites to over 450 communities around Illinois. But the price we've paid to save lives has been enormous, and we do not honor sacrifice when we do not recognize it. We've had to go an entire year separated from people that we love. In order to preserve our lives, for a time, we've had to forego our way of life. Babies have been born that grandparents have never been able to hold. Couples have married without lifelong friends beside them. Students have had to graduate without a handshake or a hug. Grief, an emotion that thrives on loneliness, has been able to escape the salve of community. Businesses, built painstakingly over generations, have had to shutter their doors. Communities that had already suffered greatly because of disinvestment and discrimination have seen their challenges multiply. And the tiny joys that fill the cracks in our lives have been taken from us. The songs of a choir, a full Thanksgiving table, a high five after a workout, a prom dress, a hot dog at a Cubs game, a bucket list trip, a smile not hidden by a mask, a long night of laughter with good friends at a favorite restaurant. As a result, we are all struggling together right now. It's okay to feeling overwhelmed. It's okay to admit that we have a new appreciation for the true fullness of life, and that we ache to return to the way the world was just a year ago. But our grief needs to help us embrace the most important lesson of the last year: that the best way to make our way in the world is together. With 2021 comes new hope. We have a vaccine that works and that starting today is being distributed right here on the Illinois State Fairgrounds. With the patience of Job, we continue awaiting our supply of vaccine that will meet our demand. As that happens, when it's your turn, I implore you to step up and get vaccinated.